Yay, I'm live. Let's see how many people I get to jump in with all the Sunday night football going on. Yay. What the hell is... guess I'll close that later. Give us a couple minutes here for see if anyone jumps in. I got a couple in. How's it going, everyone? There's been a couple things going on I've been seeing on YouTube I kind of want to talk about with people jumping before they understand what their numbers are. I'm not going into any specifics, any, how to say it, detailed like my paychecks or anything else like that. I'm literally just going to talk about like basic numbers. So that way you guys can understand that you need to understand what the hell you're getting into before you jump to some of these companies and what the hell they're doing. So we're going to give a couple minutes. Hopefully audio is all good. Lost my tea. This is my favorite shit. Good old Arnold Palmer. So. So, hopefully everyone's having a good Sunday night. I know there's a shit ton of football on right now, but it's week 17, so it's kind of pointless. So, I'll give it about another 30 seconds here before I start diving into it. As I said, I don't expect a whole lot of people. Hopefully audio is good. It's not showing anything over in live chat, but you know how that goes. Let me share this out real quick, and then we're going to dive into it. That's not the right spot. How's it going? Hopefully everyone's doing all right. I got volume off. Okay. Share. Where is it? Yeah. I said, give me 1 second here. I'm going to share this off to Facebook because I'm actually going straight live to YouTube. Trying this out a little bit different here today. So bear with me for 1 second. Publish. Yeah, I got a couple of people. So as I said, bear with me 1 more second here. All right. I got a couple of people still in here with me. So we're going to talk about knowing your numbers. You need to know. So that was really important, especially in trucking, to know. So that way you can know if you're going to get screwed over or you can survive out here. So we'll dig into it here in a minute. Feel free to ask your questions. So I've seen a couple people jump into some of these companies, and I don't know what the hell they're thinking of their signing, especially some of these lease purchase deals. I don't know what the hell they're thinking with them. So, all right, I think that's about all we're going to get. Probably all my wonderful people I got blocked are watching right now, so I don't care. All right. So if you're looking at getting into trucking or in trucking already, or whatever your situation may be, you need to know your basic understanding of your numbers out here to survive. You need to know what your home costs are compared to what you can be making per week. um, I've seen a lot of people promoting these, how to say it. If you're going into a lease purchase or even as a lease driver, be very, very, very careful when you are looking at um, companies that are paying a set rate per mile. I've seen everything from like $1.05, $1.19, and they advertise plus fuel surcharge, which is a fucking crock, and I'll get into that in a minute. Um, you need to understand where that money's coming in and where that money's going out. So, damn it. So, the basic understanding of this is you need to understand what your weekly at-home costs are. If you've got rent, if you got a car payment, you got wife, kids, you need to know what you need to survive off of back at home. If you need $800 a week, you need $1,200 a week, you need $2,000 a week. You need to understand what that is before you even start out here. I have had several people in the past contact me that are coming in from coming from high-paying office jobs and thinking that they're going to make all this money as a truck driver out here. And I'm talking like they're making 80 to 100K as an office job. And just because they've seen some people's YouTube videos that they think they're going to make all this money. It's your first year, first 2 years is you're lucky if you're going to see 60 to 80K. And that's gross. So, trying to get my train of thoughts here correctly. How's it going? I'm not even going to try and pronounce your name, but yes, mileage contracts will and can fuck you over. I'll just put the disclaimer out here. I'm no longer at Prime. That was percentage based, but you can try and report my videos to them. I don't care. Don't work there anymore. Um, I'm pretty much going to say what I want that's on my mind. I'm not going to filter myself anymore. So deal with it. If you don't like it, there's the door. So anyways, mileage contracts can screw you over real quick. And I've even seen where people who are bringing on people with they have a mileage contract and they're bringing drivers onto them, and they've literally flat out said, well, your costs that you have to cover are not my problem. This is what I'm paying. You got to deal with it. Which is real shitty when you break it down. Because they might advertise, oh, you might get $2,100, $2,300 take home a week, but they're not factoring in your truck costs, your health insurance, your taxes, and everything else. By the time you break that all down, you're lucky if you're seeing $1,400 a week free and clear. That's why if you are looking at going lease or lease purchase, two big things to watch out. It's mileage and then the terms of their lease. I've seen several people that even jump from Prime to other companies because of Prime's high truck cost. And they're jumping into these trucks that are old company trucks that are literally pieces of shit because they're conning truck drivers, regular drivers in to buy them. And they're locking you in for 5-year terms at $500 a week. Okay, that's not bad. But you get these trucks and they are 750,000, 1 million mile trucks. And then you got 5-6 years of payments on this damn thing. And what they don't tell you is the balloon payment at the end. That's my favorite flipping thing I've seen out here is these companies that are throwing balloon payments at the end of a lease purchase. And I'm like, seriously, you're getting into a truck, 800,000 miles. You're going to run it for 5 years. You're on a solo, you're going to average 250,000 miles a year. So 5 years, you're going to add 1,000,000 miles plus to that truck. So you're going to be looking at, well, let's say 1.8 million miles on a truck that you're going to be trying to buy. That doesn't make sense. You don't under it. If you want to go that route, be my guest, but be prepared for what those truck costs are going to be, or I should say the repair costs are going to be. That's the other end of it they don't tell you. Most of those trucks that they try and throw you out that are coming from their company fleet are out of warranty, or they're selling you a crap paper warranty. As I said, I'm not an expert in this. This is just the crap I'm seeing. Don't let these companies fool you. Hey, Steven. Hey, I was gonna reach out to you earlier, man. I hope everything's kind of working out for you. I know you're kind of going through some shit with your truck right now. If I could help you out right now, man, I would. But I'm kind of with starting a new job. My tanks are kind of tapped. So, but anyways, um, Arthur, I'll get to your question here in a minute. You got to be very, very careful on what you sign up for on these contracts and everything else you go through. We'll break it up to, and I'll go into it here in a minute. Question: I'm going through local community college to get my CDL. Qualify for full funding. Are there certain? With so you know, Arthur, a lot of companies, if you come into them with your CDL, most are, I know Prime, you didn't have to sign a contract unless you had to go through the PSD phase, which is just pretty much you're just like a student again. Kind of talk to the recruiters and see if they will be honest to you about that 1 year contract that companies have. Prime pretty much literally just states that you promise to work with them for a year. Otherwise, you owe the cost of the schooling, which is, I don't remember what the hell it is off the top of my head. I think it's like $45,000 or $5,000. It's not terrible. It doesn't lock you in. They have a stupid non-compete, which I've seen people quit during training for, which is basically just you're not going to quit and then go to direct to, say, like someone that they were pulling for. So like you're not going to go jump directly to Tyson or something like that. You just got to sit down and talk to them and things like that. But 1 year contracts, nothing to be scared of. And the other side of it is when you make your career choice out of schooling, you want to make sure that that first year you want to at whatever company you go to, whether it be Prime, Swift, Sierra England, Maverick. It all depends on what you have and what you want. I should say what's in your area and then what the hell you're looking for. The biggest thing I would say, if on these companies, if you're looking for OTR, go to an OTR company. If you're looking for regional or local, they're dedicated go-to companies that specialize in that. Too many people jump into, let's say Prime's a perfect example of this, and think that they're going to get home. 99% of what Prime does is OTR. It is not local and dedicated. They have the Northeast regional. They have some dedicated crap like that, but you're going to be company drivers minimum of 3 weeks out. As a lease driver, you need to, how to say this best way, you go home when you can afford to go home as a lease driver. This is part of knowing your numbers. Because unfortunately, as I said, don't work for Prime anymore, but you got to understand your fixed cost is going to be about $1,400 a week. You are getting, as a reefer and flatbed, you're getting 72% of the revenue. Tanker, you're getting 71. You need to understand what you need to make a week to be profitable. And I always had it set in stone that if I'm more than if I hit that third week and I'm not making money, I'm gone. It is pointless for me to stay out here on the road and not be profitable and not making money for myself. That is fortunately I never got to that point. I did have some bad weeks out here, but that's kind of part of the industry. That's why you want to give it yourself some flex time, and then you want to have some sort of savings built up. That's where also knowing your numbers will benefit you. Even as a company driver, you need to understand, like where I'm at now, I'm only getting paid for turning miles. So I need to know how many miles I'm going to be turning a week to I can understand what I'm going to be making a week. So that way I'm not bitching and complaining, well, I'm not making any money. Well, my it's your own dumbass's fault for freaking jumping to somewhere that doesn't have the freight, doesn't keep you moving, and you didn't understand what the hell you're getting into, even as a company driver. So, but the big thing is with these lease and lease purchases is a lot of people are advertising, oh, look at all this money I can make. Oh, look at you can get rich. It's freaking horse crap. As I said, your first year, you're going to be lucky. Second year, or first year is call it your training year. You don't know shit about that company. It was just like right now, where the company I'm at, it's dry van, and I pulled a reefer for 6.5 years. I know absolutely jack about what this company hauls now, where they go to, the customers and stuff like that. So I'm pretty much on a rookie standing with this company because I don't understand their freight system yet. That's kind of why I got stuck out over this weekend, is because the customer turned me away, couldn't deliver it early, but hey, it gave me time to work on the truck and do these videos. So win-win for me. Anyways, with these leases and lease purchase deals, they are passing the buck off onto you. Anything goes wrong with that truck, you are responsible for it. They don't give a fuck about you. All they care about is getting that check from you every freaking week. And you don't believe me? I mean, I'm not throwing you underneath the bus here, Steven, but he's trying to buy his truck from Pedigree, which is through Prime, and he's going through some massive breakdowns right now. I'm praying to get everything all fixed. And granted, hey, let's say 99% of his repair costs are all covered by warranty, but he's getting fucked over because he's not getting any revenue. Not only not getting revenue, now you're talking about hotel cost, food cost, and everything else that you would normally have, and you're stuck away from home while your truck's in the damn shop trying to get fixed. And then get into those situations where it's a repeated problem, pretty soon all your reserves are tapped out. You're bent over backwards. And guess what? The company's like, oh, I still want my truck payment, even though your truck was in the shop. Now, if you're in a good enough company, they're going to work with you and say, hey, all right, we're going to delay that for you, push that off and extend out your lease or your lease purchase deal. We're going to put it to the end. We'll work with you, or they'll put it into a fund where let's call it a fund. They'll add it all up. Say, oh, you're down for 3 weeks. They might put it down to, so call it $3,000. Like, hey, we'll float you that $3,000, but you're paying us back at $500 a week until it's paid off. If you're at a good company, that's what they'll do. If you're at a shitty company, they're going to pull that money right out of your freaking check and freaking bend you over, and then you're going to be out on your ass before you even know it. I am, where the hell am I? I keep forgetting. Oh, move the camera. I'm in Guilford, North Carolina. I don't know why you got too many caps. Whatever, man. Streamlabs is set up on there. It's got some weird shit, so sorry about that. That's kind of first time I've seen that. But anyways, I'm at the TA. I'm 22 miles away from my delivery. Um, I could have turned around and went back home, but then I would still had to turn around and redrive. I wouldn't get paid for it. So that's why I'm sitting out here. It's part of knowing your numbers. I'm not going to turn around and drive 5 hours back to sit at the house to turn around and drive 5 hours back again to come make this delivery tomorrow morning. It just doesn't make sense. I'll sit my happy ass at the truck stop, but first off, I'm used to being out here on the road. I don't need to be at the house every weekend, but the company will get me to the house every weekend. It's part of why I came here. Now, I would say this, their lease that they do is mileage. Now, if you're going into a lease on mileage, the best thing I would say, your fixed cost needs to be under $1,000, plain and simple. With your truck payment, insurance, and everything else that you're at, you need to be under $1,000. You start hitting over that $1,000 a week to say Prime's cost at $1,400 a week in fixed cost before everything else, you're going to be hurting, especially when the market turns to shit. It's going to be really interesting. This is my personal opinion on this. I see an Amazon get more and more of their trucks out here. There's a lot more of these companies that are getting their own fleets established. Walmart's rebuilding back up their fleet. So all those loads are getting off the load boards and they're going to in-house. So a lot of these owner-offs who should just survive off of these load boards are going to be hurting more. And that's why where companies with contracted freight are going to be a lot better. Now, here's the other thing. This is, again, my personal opinion. There's people out here where their eggs, they've got some of these fleets have failed, and where I think where they went wrong, or what I seen go wrong, is all their eggs were in one business. There was a flatbed company that went out because, and literally it stated, because they were hauling steel into one of the GM plants. That GM plant closed down. So now they're like, what the fuck do I do now? So they had to all jump out on the spot market. Didn't understand how to do it correctly, which I don't know how the hell to do correctly. Never done it. I'd fall on my ass and fail freaking tomorrow if I had to go on a freaking spot market. But anyways, went on the spot market, didn't know how to handle it, and then lost their ass and went belly up. Be careful when you're going to these companies where everything they have is in one basket. Oh, we got a contract with this company and all that. Okay, so what are you going to do if your 10 trucks, your 20 trucks, or your 50 trucks that you have on this one contract, and the company goes, we're done with your contract? It could happen tomorrow. Contracts out here, if you don't understand the trucking industry, don't mean dick. They can get bought up. The company can get bought up. Everything else. Prime went through that multiple times. Dealing with, say, Kraft. When Kraft got bought up, I don't know who the hell it was. Prime lost a whole shit ton of freight because the company looked at our freight cost, and I hate to tell these people, Prime's not the cheapest ones out here. That's why we lost a lot of contracts. They looked at their freight costs and like, hey, we can hire someone in and save $500,000, $200,000 just on freight costs by switching to a cheaper company. It happens all the time. Now, a lot of these cheaper companies you get into, you get what you pay for. But that's where Prime and some of the larger companies stress on-time percentage and safety. If you want to be freaking stupid out here hitting everything, go do it by yourself. Pay what that insurance costs. People bitching about what the trucks are governed at. Go to an insurance company, compare quotes, and say, yeah, my truck's governed at 65 miles per hour compared to my truck's, oh yeah, it's wide open. Find out what that cost difference is, and you're going to learn, oh, that's just on one truck. Now, what happens? You get to the mega carrier size, and you've got 7,000 to 10,000 trucks. how much you are saving just in insurance because you're governed slower. That's why I love these people that just bitch about fucking speed. Again, and also that boils down to your numbers. The faster you go, the more fuel you're going to spend. More fuel you spend as a lease or lease purchase, the less money that's in your frickin' pocket. Rolling for time. I'm not putting my company out right now. I've talked to like one or two people. They kind of know where I'm at. Got another guy that kind of reached out that might be looking to make a switch. He knows where I'm at. Just because I haven't been here long enough to be able to say for sure that it's a great company. So far, so good. I mean, I will do a full in-depth on what my personal opinions about the company is. As I want to sit down with some people in the office and maybe do not really a recruitment video, but kind of an introduction video on what all they offer, what they're looking for, and crap like that. Hey, drink. And again, gotta love Arnold Palmer. So, like, I watched someone's video, and they were talking about paying $1.19 a mile plus fuel surcharge. Fuel surcharge at that moment was 29.5 cents. Now, where you got to get it, I ran the math on this. They want to inflate. Oh yeah, you're making all this money, but you break that down at 2,500 miles with that fuel surcharge, and I even figured. I looked right at that TA. Mike, I take your fuel discount off of what the freaking cash price is. Did the math, you are still paying 113, or you're going to pay $130 for freaking, still for fuel. So that fuel surcharge just help lower your fuel cost. That's it. You don't need to count that as money to your pocket. Now, if that fuel surcharge starts going over what you're getting for miles per gallon and all that, and if we really want to get into breaking it down on how to figure out what you're getting, what you're paying per mile, and if you're losing or gaining money off your fuel surcharge, we can real quick. It's just a simple calculator. Pretty much just take what you're getting fuel surcharge times that by your miles. That'll give you how much you're getting paid for your fuel surcharge. Then you take your how many gallons. So if you're running, you get 8 miles per gallon, you can figure out what your fuel cost is going to be roughly, pretty damn close, and you can compare those two. I did it right at, so I figured pump price. So cash was $3.19 here. I'm looking at the sign right now, and I said you're getting a 60-cent discount at $2.59 a gallon. Breaking it down to, I think it was like $830 and change, right up to someone who wants to do the math on it, they can. Call $830 in fuel costs at 2,500 miles. Then your fuel surcharge at 2,500 miles is paying you $730. You're still paying over $100 for your fuel, which isn't bad. It's actually really fucking good, but that's at 8 miles per gallon. Now, if you're going to truck like mine that doesn't have an EPU and you got to idle all the time, now you're looking at 7 something. So that's more. Now you're going to be looking close towards $200 in fuel costs going out the door, where that fuel surcharge just helps kind of offset your fuel costs. It's not a profit to you. That's where I love people that sell that shit. But you need to break it all down. Like, I ran all his numbers. They're not bad if you own your own truck, especially as a solo driver. And the other part about that is if you're a team driver, what a lot of people don't talk about is all the other extra fucking costs that come out for that team driver to be on that truck, especially if you run it legally. Now, if you run it illegally and you said, hey, dude, I'm going to set you up as you need to go get your own 1099, and this is what you're getting paid from me. Okay, that's not illegally, but it's kind of shady. It's kind of shitty. If you set it up and pay them W-2 and all that to work under you, or like how, let's just, I hate to go back to it, how Prime does it is if you have your student is a Prime employee contracted to work on you. So you're paying for all the FICA, FUTA, workman's comp, all this other shit. You're paying $300 to $400 a week and extra cost just to have that person on your truck. So a lot of people don't understand that. And the other side of it too, and then this is where I got pissed at with Prime, and I talked about in an earlier video. Um, they don't explain it to you enough that if you have a student on your truck where you can make some good fucking money, and I have taken home $6,000 to my pocket as a lease driver with a student on my truck. That was the highest I ever got. Average was about 4. But what they don't tell you, or they don't stress to you enough, is if that student screws up, wrecks your truck, you are fucked. Prime will not go to bat for you. You got to fight tooth and fucking nail for fucking everything. You don't believe me? Go contact Bill Douglas and the bullshit he's going through. And what he had to go through just to get his just to be a truck driver and drive out here. They wanted him to go back through fucking training as a PSD because he missed too much time because he got fucking hurt. I'm sorry, that's one of the biggest things that fucking pissed me off. I'm sorry for my language. This isn't geared at kids. If it gets fucking set up for fucking adults only, mature audience, whatever the fuck YouTube is doing now, I don't care. As I said, go report it to Prime. Don't fucking work there. So it's, you got to understand what the fucking cost is to you if the shit goes fucking wrong. Shit goes right, it's easy as hell to plan out of this shit out. But what the fuck are you gonna do when the shit goes wrong? They don't understand. A lot of these companies don't help you understand that what happens if you don't have your money for your taxes. I'm kind of going through that, and I'm making fucking monthly payments, but they don't explain to you what the consequences are if you don't pay your taxes. Oh, you'll figure it out. Oh, hey, here's your lease contract that's fucking 20 pages long, 50 different signatures on it. You got to get your fleet manager to sign off on it. You got to get all the shit signed off and all that. And then as soon as you get it turned in, oh yeah, we're starting your deferred payments then. But they don't help you sit down with you and say, hey, if shit goes wrong, this is what's going to happen. It's, especially in training, my personal opinion, and again, this is all my opinion, not any company or anything like that. They push the trainers, especially lease and lease purchase drivers, to be trainers, so that way, if shit goes wrong, the company's not liable for the cost of it. Your student could pay for it if they wanted to, but what student in the right fucking mind is going to say, oh yeah, I'm going to pay for your deductible, or I'm going to pay for your cargo claim? Pay for your cargo claim for you. Even though it's my fault, they don't have the fucking money to do that. I understand why they do it for things. They don't charge the students for it on one side of it because all they got to do is quit and they're not going to get their money. Plain and simple. Yeah, I got Streamlabs set up, David. It's kind of funny. Got distracted there. So it's really kind of screwed up. And it's not just Prime. It's Sierra England. It's Swift. It's all these companies that were TMC, Maverick. that are pushing the training and they don't understand what the backside of it on what trainers got to deal with. That's why I got out of training. It's boils back down to know your numbers. Is it worth the risk? If the shit goes wrong, are you able to get through it? If the shit goes bad, how are you going to survive? Shit goes great. Hey, everyone can fucking make it perfect. The shit's easy when shit's going good. What happens when you get into like right now? Freight market's kind of weird right now. I got to say, but we're after the Christmas. We're going into the beginning of the year, and also we're going into an election year. What are they going to do? How is your company going to be able to handle the lower freight? Do they have contracted freight set up to keep you running? You got to figure this out. You got to know what you need out of that company to survive. If you can't get what you need to survive, stop sitting around the terminals bitching about it. Stop going on fucking Facebook and everything else. I broke down on the side of the road and they left me out there for 8 hours. Shit happens like that. This is trucking. Sometimes where companies have contracts to go through to get shit fixed, maybe you're the fifth or sixth person to get out there for a fucking roadside call, and it's going to be a bit. That's where I would say it is kind of fucked up on the company side for lack of communication is a huge fucking problem out here. But you got to understand that shit's going to go wrong. You got to be able to handle it. And it all boils down to knowing your numbers. Can you survive? Can you handle it? You need to know your worst case because you need to base everything off worst case scenario. Because as I said many times, anyone can make this in best case scenario. Throat. So this is a fucking brutal industry, and basically what it boils down to, and it's really shitty to think about, but it's kind of not to scare anyone away from. I hate to keep going back to Prime, but Prime's kind of an appropriate example for this. As a lease operator, only difference your seniority has is that they can trust you with the freight, so you get tighter schedules and shit that they know that you're not going to mess up. That's it. Pay difference, there was no difference with me with 6.5 years experience compared to someone who just freaking signed their contract and out on their first load. There is no goddamn pay difference. So what it breaks down to for them goes, all right, hey, I got this. I'm granted I can trust him to run this freight. But hey, he's been here for so long, so you know what? Hey, get this younger bucks kind of keep going. And they're gonna take care of these younger guys. Keep them rolling. All right, hey, now we're gonna get these candidates a big fucking circle because they know if you bounce out and go somewhere else because you got your experience up, and now, especially with me, 6.5 years, no accidents. I only had 3 fucking lates. One I know for sure was my fault. The other 2, I don't know what the hell they were. They were so old, I fucking don't know. But 6.5 years, only 3 lates. I could write my check and go anywhere the fuck I wanted. Now, I would say where I'm at now is not an upper echelon fucking company, but it meets what I need. That's why I knew my numbers before I jumped over here, and then I can get home for the weekend. I'm getting health insurance through the company again. Because fucking the marketplace, I don't know if anyone else in here is fucking lease operator or anything else like that, or a 1099, and have to go out to the marketplace and find their own fucking health insurance. It's bending over fucking backwards, especially for a family. I was just, that's the other side of it. And then I wanted to get home more. With these guys, I can pretty much every weekend, I'm getting home. Prime wouldn't, like, hell, for Christmas, I got home Saturday. I didn't leave out Thursday. This is my first load. I was hoping to be able to deliver it yesterday, but the company turned me away until Monday. So that's why I'm sitting here. but I'm only 22 miles away, so that way it's also knowing your numbers, knowing your clocks. I'm only 22 miles away, so with a fresh fucking clock, so I can burn through the rest of this week, get the stronger loads, because I'm gonna have more than my 70 to freaking get me through to this weekend. You got to understand how to maximize your profit, maximize what you need, understand what the hell you need to do to survive. My buddy Steven is just fucking. I mean, I wish I could do something to help him out. I mean, the fucking amount of problems he's had with that truck recently, it's just fucking bending him over. And it's going to get to a point for him where, real quick, is it worth it to stick around with this truck and fight it out, even though he's on a lease purchase? Lease purchase and lease, you need to understand if it's walk away and what the consequences are if you walk away from that lease. I walked away from that white Freightliner I had at Prime. And I think I've got the last settlement, I believe, has the last of all the fucking costs that are coming out. There shouldn't be anything else. So I think they're still going to owe me like $100. So see how that works out. But you got to understand that you need to get into, if you're getting into a lease or lease purchase, make sure it's walk away. That you can walk in, hand the keys, and say, I can't do this anymore. The better side of it is you need to go to a company that it has a lease or lease purchase, and if you are understanding that it's not working for you, the first sign of it, you need to sit down with your fleet manager and talk numbers. Hell, even as a company driver, that's why knowing your numbers, knowing your worth, and what the hell you need to do to survive out here, even as a company driver, so that way you can sit down with your fleet manager. My buddy Daniel, Twisted Big D, kind of going through that shit with his fleet manager right now, and he's a company driver. You got to understand how to maximize your profit and how to survive on your numbers. If they're not willing to, if your fleet manager or whoever you want to call it, dispatcher, fucking whatever the hell they are at your company, don't understand or don't want to sit down with you and help you get to what you need to make or your goals, or they might flat out sell you right out the bat that your goals is unattainable at this company. You need to look for opportunities elsewhere if they're a good company. They're a bullshit company. They're going, oh yeah, we can do that. We can get you to $3,000, $2,500 every take home every week, no problem. And they just keep fucking stringing you along until you can't make it anymore, and then you're out on your ass. And they don't give a fuck. As I said, they can get someone else with whatever their minimum requirements are right in behind you to take that seat in that truck. You need to understand what your numbers are, how to survive, and what it's like. Even if you go to jump, you go like, hey, make that jump up to the next level. I've seen some people that want to do that. They want company driver at Prime, they want lease at Prime, and they want to do lease purchase elsewhere. That's perfect situation. Hey, great. But when they did that, they fucking did a lease purchase. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking. On a piece of shit truck for 5 years with a huge ass balloon payment at the end of it. And it was a company fleet truck that they do it. There's several companies that are doing this shit, and if you're looking at lease and lease purchase, stay the fuck away from these trucks. I'll tell you, I know for sure Knight's doing that, and CRST are doing that. Two companies I know right off the top of my head are doing that shit, where they're sticking you guys with fucking used piece of shit trucks. Company I'm at now, their trucks are like 2015 and newer. And that's even for the lease drivers coming in. That I'm not going back lease. I'm a company driver, pay my mileage. I know what I can make. I'm happy with that. Fucking health insurance benefits all set up, taken care of. I don't have to worry about that now. You just, I knew someone else that, they had the ideal to, They had it set in their mind, oh, I got to be a lease driver, I got to be a lease driver, I got to be a lease driver. They bounced out of so many companies and all that, that where they ended up was a 5-year fucking lease deal. Granted, which their truck cost is cheaper than prime, but you're comparing a 5-year deal to a 3-year deal. So of course that weekly truck cost is going to be fucking cheaper. But then on the end of it, if you want to buy it, they're still so on a used truck. What the hell was it? I want to say it was a 2017, something like that. Somewhere, kind of a newer truck, but it was still used. And they were still having a fucking 40,000, or yeah, I think it was between $30,000 and $40,000 balloon payment at the end of it, after 5 years of fucking payments. David, I'm in a Kenworth T680 right now. It's kind of, from what I understand with the drivers that I've talked to about it, because they ripped the APU off of it. Right around, once it gets close to 500,000 miles, they sell off the trucks. So I will be hopefully getting into um, a newer truck soon-ish. Pretty much probably ride this truck out until it's done. So I don't really care. That's the other thing. And if you know how to give me another rant. All right. Besides knowing your numbers, the other thing you need to fucking know to understand to survive out here is know your fucking pre-trip. I can't stress this enough. Know your fucking pre-trip. Do your pre-trip. Get your fat ass out of the fucking truck and check over your fucking truck. No reason to run out of oil, run out of coolant. And then also, especially if you're going lease or lease fucking purchase, sorry, take the shit a step further. What the fuck do I mean by that? Okay. What happens if you had no fucking mechanical knowledge or anything else like that? What happens if you run it's like part of the pre-trip. Check the oil to make sure it's filled to manufacturer specifications. What happens if it doesn't have any oil? What happens if the engine has too much oil? What happens if the oil is fucking weird color? If it's milky? The fuck does that mean? Take the shit the next step. What would happen if I ran out of power steering fluid? What happens if axle seal leaks? Or hell, worse yet, your fucking hub seal leaks and you run out of hub fluid. What's the consequences of driving a truck with no fucking hub fluid in it? I'm gonna wait for a comment on that. How many people? I got 8 people watching right now. How many people know what would happen if your truck has a hub seal leak and you lost all your hub fluid? What would happen? I mean, you took off driving. So I'm gonna get a drink and see who can get it first. Backwoods has it right there. Fire. You got to understand why that fluid's in there, protecting those gears to keep those gears cooled. And what happens if there's nothing there to keep it fucking cooled? You take off driving with no hub fluid in your fucking hub, everything's going to get so fucking hot, all of a sudden your rear end of your truck's on fire. Let alone, you have to fucking, if your fluid hits your brakes, and your brake lining and all that shit gets soaked in fluid, and you go to hit the brakes, and that shit gets cooked up, especially on a downgrade, because you don't know how to use your freaking manual transmission or even your automatic transmission properly to go down a fucking hill, and you burn everything up. You gotta understand what the fucking consequences are. like that dipshit fucking asshole out fucking California that bypassed the not California, Colorado on 70 that bypassed the 2 runaway ramps. I don't know what the consequences are, and he claimed, "Oh, it's the accident fault is based on the broke down truck that was on the shoulder. If he wasn't there, I would have fucking been fine and not hit everybody." Ignorant fuckers like that don't understand the principle, know how to take care of the truck, to look out for shit, need to get the fuck off the road. And I don't care what backlash I get on this fucking video. Don't care. It's the fucking truth. You're the ones that are out here killing people. And if you're going and you're a big YouTube star, you've been trucking for fucking, same length of time, well, maybe a year longer than me, and you don't understand that if you drive your fucking truck without any hub fluid, it's going to catch fucking fire, and that's why road assist doesn't want you to fucking move. You need to turn that fucking truck in and get the fuck away from it. That's why you see a lot of fucking people out here fail. You can't just rely on shops to take care of shit. You can't rely on road assist to take care of you. You can't rely on anyone else besides yourself to understand what's going wrong to take care of it. That's why it breaks down to is you gotta know your fucking numbers. You break down how many people in here know what the average rate at TA, or if you're lucky, you have a Freightliner or Western Star, and you can get most mechanical work done at TA and Petro. How many people in here even know what the going rate is for the mechanic? How much they charge you per hour for the shop cost? And I know people that have sat and waited and paid for fucking the shop to install headlights in their fucking truck. It's, or they just keep driving because they don't understand, they don't know how to do it, and you got to fucking check your ego and ask for fucking help. We just got right there, $150. That's a TA or Petro. Good luck if you get into Freightliner or yeah, backwoods. I got shit set up on Streamlabs. You got to kind of watch what you guys say in the comments. Kind of swearing on that. I know I'm swearing like a sailor. I gotta figure that, turn that back down or whatever. But that's kind of the setup, so I don't have to deal with a lot of if trolls and bullshit come in here. Yeah, your cheapest you're looking at is $150 an hour to thing. Your minimum that they're gonna charge you with, even if it's fucking 2-second job like changing out your headlight, you're getting charged a half hour of labor, and that's $75 just to install a fucking headlight. So if you don't know this shit and how to take care of your truck, how to take care of the basic cost, or hell, what the cost is of frickin' you have a frickin' road call. I don't know how many people saw I don't even know if I put it up on Instagram or whatever. I think it was one of my last loads at Prime. Fucking metal chute from a concrete truck got loose somewhere. Sorry, I got a little celebia. Concrete truck. The chute section that's about that long, you know, it's connected to each other to get into the driveway. Somehow on 285 got loose. Another truck hit it, kicked it out in front of me. I hit it straight on because I had nowhere to go because I was taking the 285 to 20. What would it be? West. So it's a left exit. So I had nowhere to go. Went straight under Thankfully, it didn't do any damage to the truck, but it fucking got caught on the U-bolts for the rear drive axle of the truck, and I was dragging it. Whatever I had, I couldn't get it out. Sat there for 3 hours for road assist to come out. All he did was set up some freaking wood blocks for me to drive up on to get it to literally that much it needed to get off of the bolts. He yanked it out. That cost me $280 for the fucking roadside call. And you put the truck into a fucking ditch or anything else like that. I mean, I know that's one of the big things that hurt fucking Woody. If you guys don't know who Woody is, go check out some of his older videos in his truck. He had someone else in his truck that put it into the ditch. You get 2 or 3 wreckers that got to come out to pull that damn thing out. You're easily looking at, I don't know, $2,500, $3,000. Hell, I got charged. They tried. Oh, here's a good fucking story for you. How they really don't give a fuck about you. Shit. My first year of trucking, I was delivering. Hell, I live in the town now. It's delivering to the Walmart in Clarksville, Tennessee. Backed into the dock, but it was winter. It was one of the few times that area actually got fucking snow and ice. When I was backing into the dock, it slid me, and I got stuck in their dock at Walmart. Now, the only thing I'll tell you what saved my ass on this. I couldn't get out because they emptied me, and I was just sitting on fucking nothing but solid ice, and the ice was this thick, and then it was about that much gap underneath the ice. So I couldn't get through it. They didn't have salt. They didn't have shit for me. I ended up having to get a tow truck to get towed out of there. Actually, just get a yank out. That charge was going to be like $350 that Prime charged me for. They said, well, you were the one that got stuck. It's your fault. You're paying for it. Only thing that saved my ass on that was I took a picture at one of the Walmarts I was at, and they had their policy for the docks that they have to get us unloaded, or it pretty much broke everything down to they have to acknowledge us within so much time. They have to have unloaded so much time. It's supposed to be free of ice, debris, and everything else. So it was on them for not taking care of the docks. That store manager, it took me about a month of fighting it. And Walmart actually ended up paying for it because they said, oh yeah, we're supposed to have the docks free and clear for you guys to make your deliveries. But it's shit like that. Even as a company driver, I had to pay for the tow bill. Thankfully, they got Walmart to pay for it. But if they didn't, that's what you gotta understand. What the hell is going to go on? These companies, you gotta understand. No company is perfect. You gotta understand what the minimum is you need to survive. And basically, a way to put it, you need to know your numbers. You need to know your worth. If you don't feel like you're getting paid what you're worth, you need to fucking just move on. Stop sitting there bitching about the shit everywhere. All the fucking stories about people sitting at tip. If someone's sitting at the terminal and they're bitching at making money, it's their own fault because their asses are sitting at the terminal. It's too many people. They don't understand. They just want to jump because they see money. It's not all about fucking money out here. It's out of all, I've worked retail, security, bullshit jobs before I got into trucking. I was lucky if I kept that job for a year. Pretty much at a year, I was getting bored with that job. I moved the fuck on. And I even went through one of the security company I was at, making good money with shit hours. But actually making good money. Could have been better money if I would have stayed on, because the contractor company got kicked out and they were switching everyone to in-house. So there was going to be, I think it was like an $8 an hour pay raise if I would have stayed on and got hired on to work directly for the company. But I'm not going in the full story on what all happened, but ended up having to start back over. You got to understand, sometimes if you make the jump out, shit's not going to work right. You need to start back over and reestablish yourself. Stop aiming up here and trying to go higher every fucking time, because it's just not going to happen. Understand your minimum that you need to make and be like, hey, I can survive off of making $1,000. I can survive making $800 a week. Sometimes making that $800 a week guaranteed, say it's guaranteed, $800 take home every week, whatever the time frame is. If you can survive off of that, or not to just survive, if that's actually a good check with you because you have no bills back home, stack up your money and fucking go through it. Go through a perfect example. Give me a drink here. Tell you about a story I had, or kind of our debate I got into with one of the guys in orientation about his son. And it wasn't even his son, that was another guy was arguing on behalf of the other guy's son. It was kind of a weird argument, but it was kind of fun. So one guy had his son back home, had an apartment. He's maintained it for 2 years, but in order to succeed and try and get ahead, he was starting to get around the wrong crowd, and he was pretty much starting to sell drugs. He's like, I want to tell his son to come on the truck with me, crash up, get rid of that apartment. He had a car that was pretty much paid off, so he didn't have to worry about that. I think he had like 2 more payments left on it. And then come on the truck with me for a year, get your experience, get established. And I'm like, all right. If he can, literally, so if you're paying $500 a month in rent, and you're looking at becoming a truck driver, and that's all you have, say you're a single guy, single woman, whatever, get rid of that fucking apartment. Because if you just literally say you're paying $600, 400 to 600, call $500, $500 a month you're paying in rent. Your truck's got a bed. Now, I mean, granted, you're not going to have the pride. This is what the other guy was arguing about, is when you have, even though you're renting, you have a place to call your own, it's your own. I'm like, all right, understand this. Give it up for that, because you need a year to establish your OTR and all that crap. Most companies, at minimum, are looking at a year of experience. That's just kind of knowing your numbers. Have him jump on the truck with you. Have him pay you pay 350 of that 500 to you, and put that money away for him. And that 150 that he was going to spend anyways is now his fuck off money. Besides his pay, that 150, so he can go home. He wants pretty much do whatever the fuck he wants with that money. That's his fuck off money. On how many of you guys out here have fuck off money? So at the end of that year, he's paying you $350 for 12 months to be on that truck that you set up in an account, bullshit savings account for him. That is, my brain doesn't work. Give me 1 second here. So even if his son didn't want to stay, times 12. So even if his son didn't want to stay on the truck with him and said, I don't want to do trucking anymore, that's $4,200 plus whatever bullshit interest you're going to accrue off of it that you can hand your son, or in general situation, you can hand yourself at the end of the year by claiming your residency at your parents or wherever else, like back with single, no kids, 26 male living at home on big property for cheap. Yeah. If you didn't have that, didn't set it up, if you were paying a rental, find a family member, find a friend that you can claim their residency and live there for a thing for a year. He could have his son because his son's actually looking at becoming a rapper and stuff like that. He's got a couple of music videos out, stuff like that. But I'm like, if he gets his truck, he can still do that shit out here as a truck driver. But at the end of it, that's $4,200. Now he can go put that as a fucking down payment at something. Go use that FHA loan and get something decent instead of paying rent on somewhere he probably doesn't want to be, especially especially since he's starting to deal drugs in the area and things. He probably does not want to be in that area. And the other side of it too is cut the fucking negative people out of your life. I had family members that questioned me why I went to Prime and what I did. To this day, they still don't understand why I did. And it's basically because I wanted to do something on my own. I wanted to prove it to myself that I could do it. I knew they were there to help me if all else failed. But I was tired of having other people help me to get ahead. I wanted to fight and do something for my own. Now, I've had some shit I'm not going to disclose on video exactly whatever. College is not the place for me. Plain and simple. I am not a book learner. I'm a street learner. Give me something, let me get my hands on it, I can learn it. That's why learning this fucking CDL handbook was kind of harder for me, and it took me a while. It took me about a year to be able to get the shit down to pass my permit test, but I made sure I took the time and I understood what the fuck was in that book. There's a lot of good basic information in there that you need to know. Stop just fucking using the test study guides to pass your test and think that shit in that book does not apply. It's not fucking important. If Stop taking the shortcuts and the shit, learn it. You're in it for, especially if you're in, you want to be in trucking for the long haul. And if you are looking at being an owner op and all that, it is a long haul game. There is no fucking quick secret success. If I hear another fucking YouTuber come out and say, "Oh, I'm going to Prime or I'm going here and I'm going to have a fleet of trucks in my first fucking year because everyone set out the blueprint and it's all fucking nice and easy. You just got to do it." If I hear that fucking bullshit one more fucking time, because they're listening to these wrong fucking people and they're not being honest. It's like, "Oh yeah, these guys are making great money." I can tell you there's several fucking YouTubers right now that would not be where they are at right now as either two things. One, they don't have shit for fucking bills. They are what I laid out earlier, living in their fucking parents' basement, and the only bill that they have is a cell phone bill. Fuck, anyone could make a shit ton of money that way. Or two, the other one that they're fucking doing, and they're not explaining to you guys, their significant other has a hell of a fucking job. Tell you, I'll lay out my situation for you. I have a wife, two kids, house, car, fucking hell. I even have two adults and an infant in my house that I am supporting, and I'm barely fucking scraping by right now because of the shit that they went through that they had nowhere else to turn to. And I will do as much as I can to help. Even on fucking YouTube or anything else like that, I've donated money, gave money to people, and they're like, "Oh, I'll pay it back. Don't worry about it. If I can help, I will help." But it's kind of the other thing that's pissed me off is sitting here. I've had several people come up to me and fucking ask, "Oh, you got money for blah 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 blah," and 90% of the time, all it is a fucking scam because they just go through hit up truck. Anyways, you want a perfect example of that? Go to West Memphis and try to get fucking fuel without somebody trying to fucking beg for fucking money. How's it going, big country? Sorry for the phlegm. You got to understand, I'm going to wrap this up here in a couple minutes. When we're all boils down to is you got to understand your money, understand your numbers, understand what the fuck you're doing. If you don't understand something, ask for help. Reach out to me, fucking reach out to people. If they can't help, especially YouTubers, if they can't sit down with you and help break shit down to help you out, they're selling you a fucking pile of shit. I've looked at several different people's numbers. I've had people, buddy of mine send me a contract. I sat down with him for fucking looked at his contract and I said, it's not great, it's not terrible. Here's basically what you got to run. Because again, it was a situation where it's mileage based. Here's what you have to run every week to be at what you're at now. Because he was company looking at going lease purchase. And I'm like, and that is, and you got to figure the base amount, or this is what, and you got to figure out, all right, I need to be at least at this. So that way, if shit happens, I'm covered for at least a bit. Reach out to people. Ask the biggest thing with trucking and all that, you need to put your fucking ego aside. All these guys that think they're the god of fucking trucking are just full of fucking shit. Plain and simple. And go run and fucking tell them. You probably can figure out some of the drivers that have been fucking talking about. I don't care. Let them come at me. Oh, my 3.5 thousand subscribers compared to how many fucking thousands you got. Yeah, swing down at me and make you prove how much of a fucking fool you guys really are. It's just, when you get into this, you need to understand the basics. From understanding the basics, you got to take the next step. Never stop learning. Never stop understanding what the hell's going on. Understand why your company, like a lot of people bitch about fucking deadheading. Understand what happens if you deadhead, especially as a fucking lease driver. Hey, Kenworth. And all that. Find out if you get paid to deadhead. It never hurts to ask if you're going to get paid for it. My fleet manager took care of me when it was over 500 miles. I knew I was going to get the bullshit $1 or $2 a mile to move. That was my fleet manager. He took care of me. Now there's some fleet managers they'll flat out fucking tell you, oh, we're going to base that off of your week average, and if you don't equal up to $1.02, then we'll compensate you up to that $1.02 a mile. Bullshit. Or understanding why sometimes you got to take a shitload here to get to a good load that average out. Don't just jump into this shit thinking you're going to get rich. You need to understand your basics, understand your numbers. Before you even jump into it, before you even understand what the fuck you're thinking about studying that CDL manual and everything else that you need to do, find out what your at-home costs are. Break that down to weekly and what you can cover. Don't jump off and try and chew more than you can fucking swallow. It's too many people, especially if you're going in with trying to get your permit somewhere, and then go and fucking through training, understand that training prey. Can you survive through all that? A lot of people can't. That's why, especially, I don't know how the fuck it is now with Prime doing 50,000 miles TNT. That's a long fucking time for fucking $700. I don't even think it's $700 the whole time anymore. I think it's broken down. It's like 600 and 700. I think the first half is 6 and the next half is 7, and that's gross. What, 50,000 miles? You're lucky if you're running 5,000 miles a week, no time off. Your minimum of 10 weeks of training right there. Minimum. You're probably looking at more like 12 to 14, maybe even 16 weeks. $4 months. Surviving off of $700 gross a week. Understand what the hell you're getting into before you make that jump. Company drivers, lease drivers, and all that. Understand if you're getting paid percentage, what you need to make to cover your fixed cost. You can kind of figure out your fuel, all your costs. It's not too hard to guesstimate your fucking fuel costs. If you need help with that, I might do a simple video later, how to figure out what you're actually paying for fuel cost. But when it comes down to when especially these companies push and lease purchase, they don't sit there and help you decide, like, for flat out tell you it's not meant for everyone. The shit's not set up for everyone to succeed. The fucking shit's set up to benefit the company. If you go into that and understand lease and lease purchase is there to benefit the company because they are pushing the risk versus reward. They're pushing the risk onto you. If you don't understand that getting into it, that's how the company fucking sits back and laughs at you. It's too easy to take advantage of people because they're too fucking fixated on money. It's what all boils down to because they get someone to flash dollar signs in front of you. It's not that it's really easy to do. Hell, I fell for a little bit. But if you go back through, touch on this one last thing, and unless you want to keep fucking rambling for, I got nothing to do until 7 a.m. or leave here at 6. So anyway, what a lot of these companies will try and do is fucking push these. Why you don't see on my videos me always pushing for recruiting. Everyone that I tried, if you put my name down for Prime and try to recruit, I tried to talk with you. I'll get back to you in a second more. I'll get back to you. Where the hell is I at? Oh, recruiting. I think I did one video out of all my videos pushing recruiting. There might be a couple more. There's no more than 5 that I push recruiting. It might be down in the comment section where it was a link to Prime to put my name down for watching my videos. But everyone that I tried, and they only got, I know one for sure, a couple people put me down, just I didn't know who they were. They just put me down, and I got the recruitment bonus for it. But everyone I tried that recruited, I tried to make sure at least I had some type of dialogue, some type of content with them to make sure that they understood what the hell they were getting into compared to where they were at. One guy I still talk to, he's still at Prime. Hell, I even was there when he got his truck, and I helped him pick out his truck, and he actually got one of the new body style Freightliners with every single fucking option. And he was able to do that because the guy turned it in. He was going to do a lease purchase on it, but got an in-house job. But they weren't letting anyone else fucking take the truck because um, all the extras you had to pay for. So it was a kind of ridiculous amount of extras that were on it, and it was built into. So his fixed costs, I think, instead of call it 1,400, might have been 1,800 a week or 1,900, something like that. I forgot exactly what it was. But the reason why he was able to get the truck, and I told him it's not really going to affect him too bad, is because he brought his girl with him to team. So he's going into that truck as a team trucks, and that's actually how they approved him, because everyone else was drooling. All these fresh lease people were drooling all over that truck, but they wouldn't let them get it because of the high fixed cost, and they didn't know. They don't want to set you up too bad on the fucking fixed cost, so you lose your ass. But he was able to afford it because he went team with it. Kenworth, were you talking about whose bankruptcy? I can say it. I've been through bankruptcy. That was before trucking. And if anyone tries to hold fucking bankruptcy over you, they don't fucking understand what the hell how it's set up, and sometimes that shit goes fucking wrong. And you get to that last point, that's all you got left. Big thing that was screwing me over before trucking was fucking school loans. And it's not my school loans, it was my wife's school loans that were fucking outrageous. But yeah, Kenworth, comment whose bankruptcy you're talking about, and I might have some info on it. Might not. um, let me make sure I've got everyone. Yeah, like Big Country said, hit Prime up for a year or two, move on. Prime is a great starting company. I'll give them that. You get your OTR experience, get your OTR experience, even while you're under that 1-year contract. Fucking look around. Hell, Walmart's established himself back up to the bullshit that they tried and pull and cutting the rates that they were paying the drivers. But they fixed that, but they still have some weird policies and shit like that you gotta understand that you're getting into before you're going. But let's just say not Walmart. Um, there was something you really wanted to do. Like one of the things I might look into, I might fucking look into it just for shits and giggles because I think it'd be cool to do. Fucking NASCAR hauler. I think that'd be a fucking awesome job. And I'll go back OTR for that as long as the money was right for it. Don't know. I don't know enough on it. I don't know anyone that really talks about any of it. But let's say you want to get into heavy haul. Now, I have no experience with flatbed or anything else like that. If you come into Prime or somewhere, use Prime as an example, get your year experience on the flatbed side. Prime only has general commodity shit. They don't do any heavy haul. They don't do any RGN shit like that. So you got to understand, if that's where you're trying to get to, you're not going to be able to get it at Prime. So you might have to get your experience and then move on to or look at what some of these heavy haul companies have or for the requirements to get onto them. Always do your homework. Look at what's next. Before I even quit Prime, I was shit. For the past 4 years, I've been keeping my eye out on what's out there. I'm surprised that I've got I'm surprised. I think I was up to 8 people, or up to 10 people. I'm surprised I even got 8 people in here for fucking Sunday Night Football going on. So I'll take a second and say, hey, thanks to everyone coming and listen to me rave and cuss and swear and fucking go off on shit. you got questions or anything else like that, put it in the comments. I'll get to you. Unless I'm on one of my wonderful rants about something. So I don't know if Kenworth dropped out or what. Kenworth, if you're back in at all, just put whoever you're talking about bankruptcy. Came at the same time. So it's trucking's not hard. Oh, that's right, Diego. Yeah, you're in Costa Rica. How the hell's the weather down there? Just out of curiosity. I'm on the tail end of this cold. It's all coming out through my sinuses. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to be a truck driver, especially now that everyone's bitching. If you're not ship, the best. If you're not shifting gears, you're not a true truck driver. Blah 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 fucking blah. Get in that fucking truck and drive it. Do what you got to do. Now I will say this about the stupid. I thought about going down there, man. Oh, I haven't really taken vacation in forever. Let's talk about the automatic restriction right now. Yes, I have a CV. I keep it on sometimes. And once it starts getting political or people playing fucking music and stupid shit on there, I turn it off. But yeah, I do have one. Anyways, let's go back to a lot of these starter companies are switching over to all automatics. There's some reasons behind that. You need to understand the economics on why companies are doing that compared to bitching and whining. Well, you're not a real truck driver unless you're shifting gears. You're still driving the same fucking weight of truck. You're still hauling the same shit. Guess what? You're still a fucking truck driver. Granted, I will say this right now. The fucking Kenworth or the 10-speed automatic that is in fucking the older Kenworth and Peterbilts is fucking garbage. The Eaton Fuller 12-speed automatic fucking kicks the fucking shit out of it, and now I understand why they switched to it in the newer trucks. Anyways, back to happy times. A lot of the training companies are switching to automatics. One for its ease, plain and simple. The fail rate that you are going to have compared when testing out an automatic compared to manuals is drastically lower. That's why Prime had a huge fucking problem this past year of keeping trucks in stock, because a lot of people were testing out automatics and a lot more people were passing. So all of a sudden now there's a lot more drivers on the fleet. So that's when they started having to cut everything down. If you end up, so let's say best case scenario, I'm like, oh, I don't want the automatic restriction on my license because it's going to hinder me. Okay. Break this down to the long run. You go through, you get your training in an automatic. They let you test out, you get whatever 3 days of testing in a manual to test out in the manual so you don't get your restriction. You go back into fucking an automatic for training, get out of training, you get your 1 year experience in an automatic truck for your 1 year. What's going to happen if you say, oh, all right, I want to go to car hauler company now, but they only have manuals, but I don't have restrictions, so I can get that job. What's one of the first things they're going to do before they hire you? Or any good company is going to do before they hire you? I had to do one for fucking this job. And literally I had, shit, I would quit. Turned my truck in on Friday. I was in orientation on Monday. See if who can be my first one to answer. What's one of the things that a good company is going to have you do before they officially hire you? See if Backwoods is going to be the first one on this again. Oh, Josh beat you. Protest. So you did a fucking year. In that first year of your training, you had 3 days of fucking experience in a manual transmission. Do you think you're going to have any chance at all to fucking pass your road test with that company in a fucking, especially if it's not even a 10 speed, especially if it's a 13 or 18 speed? Could you imagine that? And you had 3 days of practice in a 10 speed, and you think you can drive a manual, and they hand you a fucking 18 speed on your road test and try and figure that shit out? Hell, I would be fucking a little dumbfounded trying to figure out 18 speed myself. Because the only experience I've ever had was 10 speed. And I'd probably be shitty enough at it that I probably wouldn't even get the job. And I have 6.5 years of driving experience. So the automatic restriction is fucking there to save your life because you don't know how to fucking drive a manual. Plain and simple. Tired of hearing people fucking bitch, oh, you name automatic restriction. Unless that company's going to have you in a train you in a manual and then the manual all the way through. Yeah, where I'm going with this Backwoods is if you had manual experience, let's say your trainer had an auto, but you practice in a you tested out in a manual, and then you had a manual when you upgraded and got your own truck. They fucking going to then you got manual experience. But if you literally had only 3 days of fucking experience and a manual, then you're handed a fucking auto and an automatic for the rest of the time. You're not going to be able to fucking drive a fucking manual truck. So that restriction, even whether that restriction was there or not, it doesn't fucking matter. Now, so a lot of people don't understand. Call up your local DMV and ask them what it takes to remove it. I've heard fucking some where you can show up to the DMV in a manual truck, and literally all you got to do is freaking go up 3 gears and come back down 3 gears, and they'll take the restriction off your damn thing. You don't even leave the damn parking lot. That's just what I heard. I don't know if that's factual or not, but hell, you can. It's not that hard to get the restriction off your license and fucking move on with it. Automatics are kind of the way the thing's going. We go back to that. First one, the major reason is for training purposes. I mean, I hate to say it, a lot of people were failing out because they can't drive manual. And also, a lot of people weren't coming into trucks driving. And I don't mean to sound kind of sexist about this or anything like that. A lot of females weren't wanting to drive manuals. They were looking for a lot were looking for, not saying all, but a lot were looking for companies with automatic transmissions. That's kind of a recruitment thing. Truck's a lot easier to drive when it's automatic. The other side of it is it's better fuel economy. It'll help keep you into that power band of the gear, or it's supposed to when it's working fucking properly. Except for this bullshit fucking 10 speed that's in Kenworth and Peterbilt's that can go to the fucking birds. But the Eaton Full or 12 speed is a lot better of a fucking automatic transmission than these things. And if anyone that's driven the freaking older 10 speeds in these things understands my frustration. But do your time. Make sure while you're getting your year, understand your numbers and understand what the hell you're going for. If you're happy with that company, like if I could have got the home time that I'm able to get here at Prime, I would have switched the company and stayed at Prime. But one of the big reasons why I jumped out was because of home time. Especially, that's just where knowing your fucking go back to knowing your fucking numbers. You go home in a lease or lease purchase. Understand what that fixed cost is while you go home. This is where some companies kind of got a little bit better, where they're doing a like a $300 or $400 a week. Then it's a mileage charge. Now that kind of can fuck you if you run a lot of miles, but hopefully what you're making is offsetting it. But then that's saving you when you go home. That way you're only having a $300 truck payment compared to a $900 truck payment. You got to run your numbers all the way through everything. Because that's kind of one of the other reasons why I got out of Prime as a lease operator, to go home at minimum. Besides my money, it's costing me $200 a day to be at home. Besides my profit that I would make, it would cost me $200 a day. So you got to understand. That's where you need to understand your numbers, and that's why these fucking people who we call fucking terminal rats, that just sit around all the time at fucking terminals and not making any money, are losing their asses, because no matter what, that fucking truck payment, that fucking fixed cost is fucking coming out. So, so I've been going for almost an hour 40 now. I'll leave this last. Could do 10 minutes. Hammer out questions. I'll read back through comments here. Make sure I didn't miss anything. But ask any questions. I will. Only thing I want to answer right now is what company I'm at. Anything else, feel free to fucking ask. And just watch the swearing in the comments, because stupid Streamlabs Autobot that's set up will block you for swearing in the comments. Kind of funny, but makes it easier. That's why I don't have anyone set up as mods or anything. I got fucking computers to handle the shit for me. Ugh. So make sure I don't miss anything. I think I got everything. David's family said. Yeah, I don't know if Beta, you're still in here. Yeah, I had to pay for that fucking tow, even as a company driver. Even as a company driver, you get stuck, you're paying for a tow. Hell, look into it. Like, here, if I run out of fuel, they will pay for the fuel, but I had to pay for the service call. And that goes back into where we were talking earlier about shop costs and fucking call out. Know what that road assist call is going to cost you, especially if you're going to be a lease or a fucking trying to be an owner operator. You didn't know what all this shit's going to cost out of your pocket. A lot of companies don't pay for lockouts. So if you, I will eventually do up a video on it, on how to get into your truck with your shoestrings. I've done it, and it saved me a fucking call out to the locksmith twice. So I was dumbass in my Freightliner, and then hopping out of the truck, bonk, fuck, because the keys are sitting in there. So yes, I have used my shoelaces to break into my truck. I will try and do up a video. I could do it on this. I think I could pull it off in this truck. But I've actually saved people from in their even works on your car for getting in for a lockout. I would go. Yeah. If you're looking at I'm not discouraging anyone from going lease or lease purchase. The biggest fucking thing I gotta say into it is understand the risk and the fucking what if shit goes wrong? Who's gonna be there to fucking back me up? Because the kind of interesting thing is my fleet manager even called me the day after Christmas, wished me a Merry Christmas, and said, "Hey, so we have an open door. If you decide that doesn't work out and you want to come back, you're more than welcome to come back. That's why you don't burn your fucking bridges." Tuna lives are the best. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing more lives. I don't know how the fuck I'm gonna work this shit out yet. I remember to get my GoPro this last time I was at home, so I will be doing up more kind of vlog style videos. Stuff like that, because I actually have my GoPro up and be able to record shit while driving, um, and other shit. I don't know if you noticed, channel name kind of switched back and forth. I was debating for a while what the fuck to do with my channel. Um, I'm still kind of in limbo on certain shit. If there is anything that you want me to do a direct video about, I got 7 of you still in here. My contact information's in there. I got to reach back out to one guy that actually texted me. There is a phone number in my contact information. It's always on Do Not Disturb. It's a Google Voice number. You can text it. You can call it, leave me a voicemail, ask me questions through my Gmail, fucking through my Facebook page, through my Instagram. I don't have Snapchat. Don't have Twitter. Fuck that headache. Fucking twatter. Anyways, happy place. Reach out to me, send me like, hey, if you want me, even if you want me to go fucking ramble on shit like that, let me know. As I said, I'm not gonna be too PC anymore. Fuck it. I'm gonna be upfront and as honest as I can be with you guys. I have failed in certain shit. I have fucked up some certain shit. As I said, I don't know if you guys caught earlier, I have been through a bankruptcy before fucking going in through trucking. And I had to live at my parents' house with my wife. You understand what people who have never had to struggle and fight for what the fuck they have need to shut the fuck up. I don't care what race or fucking upbringing or fucking anything you had. If you never had to fight, never had to fucking struggle, you can't tell someone else how to fucking do it. I can help you. It's your life. It's your decision. I can give you the best advice that what I personally would do. Just go from there. I'm not going to belittle anybody. Like I've had friends that fucking jump from companies to companies to companies, and I'm like, hey, this is what you got enough experience now. You know what the fuck to look out for. I'm not going to belittle you for it. Do I think it's the smartest fucking idea? No. But eventually, if you keep fucking doing that shit, especially these job hoppers, where you're getting 3 to 6 months at a company and you keep fucking doing that shit, besides the fact, oh my god, doing the application for fucking the next company, how many fucking you have to fill that information out every fucking time. So you got to keep adding in every new fucking company. Besides that headache, A lot of companies looking at it is like, I'm not going to take that risk on him because all he is a fucking job hopper. So pretty soon you're just going to bounce yourself out of the industry. Keep that in mind. I'm not saying sometimes, hey, you make a move like this move I made to this company might not work out, but I'm going to give it at least a couple months, unless it turns real shitty real quick, before I try and bounce. I might be here and retire out of here. I don't fucking know yet. But make sure you move correctly. I'm not saying that you go to fucking somewhere and it's absolutely horrible and they're screwing up your paychecks that you need to stick around. Get the fuck out. But it's that fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh jump. If you're not learning from why you're jumping from company to fucking company and just doing it over and over again, what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same shit over and over and over fucking again and expecting different results? No one's going to hand shit to you. There's people out there that will help you the best that they can help you. I will try and help you the best I can fucking help you. It's just you need to understand that when it all comes said and done, the only one you can truly rely on, I don't care if it's your mom, dad, wife, brother, sister, or anything else, the only person you could truly fucking rely on is yourself. Now, it might hurt some people's feelings when you tell them that. I mean, I've had talks with my wife. I'm like, hey, you want to cheat and all that? Go have fun. You can have fucking everything. Oh, to hit me for child support? All right, I already know how I'm gonna fuck you on that. It's hopefully we never go down that avenue, but you gotta understand, if shit goes wrong, shit can go wrong. Now, not too many people my age, being 35, can say they've been married for shit. How many years now? This year will be fucking 13 years married. And you got to figure, now how's this for having a fucking wife that understands? When I started trucking 6.5 years ago, I'll go into my story here a little bit since you guys are kind of hanging out, fucking enjoying the show. 6.5 years ago, when I started trucking, I was working full time. Wife was working full time. Between what we were making and our bills, we couldn't afford rent anywhere. Now, thankfully, I had fucking cool enough parents where they let us live with them, especially once we had my oldest daughter. You can be a dipshit and fucking. I hate buses. Look like an old tour bus that somebody set up for their own RV. Anyways, we were living at my parents' house. I got a lot of fucking flack from fucking family for me and my wife living at my parents' house. How fucked up is that? They thought we were taking advantage of them. We were taking all their money. We were destroying their house. We were the reason my dad got fucking cancer and died. To this day, there's one certain, I don't even consider them family because they're not blood. One certain fucking person, I will lose it all to put them 6 feet under. That's all I'm gonna say about that. So it went from both of us having bullshit fucking full-time jobs to fucking, um, I'm like, all right, I gotta do something different. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do trucking. When I started at Prime, again, married, living out with my parents, my daughter's not even a years old, and I leave to go to an OTR company. Didn't know if it was gonna work out or not. Sure in the fuck gonna fight every tooth and fucking nail I had. Trust me, I don't have that many teeth left. To fucking yeah, you want to make fun of him about that shit? I don't give a fuck. It's what it is. Don't understand what fucking happens. Anyway, it's not gonna go down that rant. Um, I was gonna do everything fucking I possibly could to make sure I fucking succeeded. Still to this day, I will make sure I do everything I fucking possibly can to make sure I can succeed. If it turns around and where I gotta go fucking scoop shit and fucking be a sewer worker or fucking go on the farm and be a farmhand scooping fucking manure all fucking day to be able to survive, that's what I will do. Too many, especially the younger generation, don't understand that they need to fight and shit is not fucking handed to you. As I said, thankfully I had that family support back home to be able to get me to where I'm at now. So literally, so I was at living with my family, my mom and dad, while my dad was going through fucking stage 4 prostate cancer, left to go OTR, just try and start a company, truck driving, try and make something. Able to get to it, and that caused, you can imagine the amount of fucking family frustration problems I had. When the opportunity came and I realized that I was stuck in Murfreesboro, Tennessee all the time, or I should say Shelbyville, because I was running that Walmart account that we had at that time. Some of the older Prime drivers would remember that account. The people running it were dipshits, but hey, that's a different story. Fucking great account. I believe, yeah, Warner has it now. No, not Warner. Martin has it. Anyways, I realized that I was spending so much time down there and sitting and doing my 34s and all that shit, and then having to get a load to go back home in Illinois. Realized, I'm like, fuck it. How much is rent down here? Got a 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment. I think when we first moved down here, I think it was like $900 a month. Was able to move a family down there, wife and kid down there, got an apartment. Away from all that family drama. Fortunately, some of it followed with her mother-in-law having to come down with us. A different fucking story. Or my mother-in-law having to come down with us. Different, as I said, different story. But again, it comes down to I was in a position to be able to help someone else out when no one else was there to fucking help them. Same situation right now where I've got two adults and an infant at my house because I'm able to help them. It's not exactly easy right now, but I'm able to help them when they have no one else there to fucking help them. The sad part is I am more of a fucking father to that kid than what the actual biological father is. And I'm barely there, or I was barely there. Now I'm here pretty much on weekends. I will say this: if you do the dirty deed and have a fucking kid with somebody, step up for the fucking responsibilities of it. No matter what, if you don't fucking get along with the baby mama or whatever the fucking drama and bullshit you have of it, not fair to take it out on that fucking kid. I think from talking to that, I don't think he sent her money once even for a fucking pack of fucking diapers. That's where I say I'm more of a fucking father to that fucking kid, and I'm barely there to help him out than what his own biological father is. Step up to your responsibilities. If you fuck up, you're in trucking. You hit something out here. Say, Sorry, I fucked up. What do I got to do to fix it? You're late on a load. Fucked up. Okay, learn from it. Move on. Keep moving shit on to that next step. It's no one's gonna hold your hand and guide you through this shit. People will be there. I'll be there to try and help you as much as I can, but it's on you. If you don't want to do your pre-trip and your fucking truck burns up because you don't fucking realize that you got to have fluid in your fucking differential, and if it all leaks out everywhere and you drive with it, what's gonna fucking happen? If you don't take that time to learn that, especially as a lease or fucking worst case scenario, you were a lease purchase driver. So had your own, no, they never had their own authority. You were buying the fucking truck and you didn't understand simple shit like that. That's why pay attention to a lot of, I think you call bullshit on me on this. I don't fucking care. Keep an eye on YouTubers, especially ones that are pushing the money. Stay the fuck away from. Hold on. Alright. Big fucking rant time. There are certain YouTubers out there that shall remain fucking nameless that are charging you guys for basic fucking advice. Never, 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 fucking never pay a YouTuber for fucking advice. If you want to fucking donate, I got Super Chat on there. If you want to donate on Super Chat to somebody, that's cool. You want to fucking share their videos out, shit like that. You want to put somebody down for a referral. I don't have a fucking problem with that whatsoever. Where I have a fucking problem is these fucking guys. Oh, you want to help go into a company and tell you where to start your company at? Oh, you need to go on private call with me, and it's fucking $25 for a half-hour call, whatever the fuck. Where they're literally fucking charging you guys for basic fucking information. They're fucking used car salesmen that fucking got into fucking trucking, and they're just slick. It's what it is. And they're fucking getting away with it. I don't. Some people have called them out on it. I did up a video on it earlier. Don't pay for fucking advice. As I said, you want a super chat, you want to put people down for referral, shit like shit. If they have merchandise and you want to buy their fucking shirt, pay for them that way. But the second that they say, oh, yeah, you want help to decide on what company to go to? Okay, well, that's going to be, you're going to contact me through email, and then to get on a private call with me, it's going to cost you $50 an hour. That's a fucking scam. Hell, you can call up fucking any company and talk to a recruiter, and I will put up that. I gotta figure out. I might do it on a video, or I will put it on pretty much everywhere. All my shit. A basic fucking questions to ask your recruiter, especially if you're looking at getting into the companies. It's these guys fucking charging for stupid advice. Especially when they turn around and say, oh yeah, go to Prime. They've never worked there a day in their life. All they have is third party information. They're giving you the same information. You go to fucking driveforprime.com and you can look up your fucking self. And if you want to, all serious talk, if you're looking at information and you're thinking about going to Prime, literally just go to drive for the word, not number, prime.com. All the information's right there. There's a little link in the top corner to apply. Oh, and speaking of that, goddamn, you guys getting my rants tonight. When you apply to companies and you're filling out the fucking application, like Prime's right in the first, I think before you even start filling out the application, it tells you all the fucking information you're going to need. It tells you how far the background check's going to go. Now, there are certain things that are not going to get flagged right away, but you know what your own fucking personal record is. So when you fill out your application, if it didn't ask for it, say you had a fucking misdemeanor for pissing in public 5 years ago. Better to disclose that shit to your recruiter than think, oh, hey, it didn't ask me about it. So when you get to orientation, and then your ass is sent back home on the fucking Greyhound because it comes back up and you didn't put it on your application. Now you lied. That's a big part of it. You lied on your fucking application. Like, company I'm at now, for company drivers, there is, for health insurance, you have to check a box for smoker or non-smoker. So any one of your people, any of your beneficiaries, so for like me, wife, and my 2 kids, I'm putting on it. If any one of them smoke, you got to pay the whole. You got to. Everyone, you're paying the smoker price. Now I haven't smoked in shit, I don't know how many years. Thank God I did quit. But you got to understand that it's but on that, if I check that non-smoking box and fucking I don't know how they find out, probably through doctors or something like that. But if they found out, and they even said during orientation that they will fire you for lying on your fucking application. It is better just to be honest about the shit. Put it all the fuck out there. Even if you're fucking 60 years old, decided like fuck it, I want to pay to get see the country. And I had a fucking felony back when I was 18 years old for fucking, I don't know, called I had a pound of weed on me. I don't know what the fuck. Better to disclose that shit. That way the company can decide and tell you right then and fucking there whether or not they'll take you, instead of trying to hide the shit. Truck stops filling up. I don't think there's much spots left. People are starting to park stupid. With that, go back to it. Don't pay for fucking advice. I've been rambling on here for over 2 hours. I still got fucking 6 people watching me. A lot of information that's been fucking helter-skelter. A lot of information put out there. Never once in a while I'll tell you guys, no, I won't tell you that unless you fucking pay me. Now, later on down the road, I might do fucking something for charity or something like that, and go from there and ask for money that way, but that's a different story. I will never turn down, never make fun of anybody doing anything for charities. But these fucking YouTubers who are literally just fucking scamming you out of fucking money for basic information because they've got 2 years driving experience. I want to beat them to death with a wiffle ball bat. just because I think it'll be fun. I think that's about all I got on for tonight. So they got 7 of you in here. So if anyone's got any last questions, give it about 10 minutes. If I don't get any questions here in the next couple, then I'll sign on off. Hopefully get the rest of this crap out of my sinuses. Speaking of that, just because the shit out here is so expensive on the road, if you guys are coming in to trucking, make sure. Oh, there's Twisted Big D. Talked about you earlier, man. Fucking 2 hours and 5 minutes into this shit, you just fucking join in? What the fuck? No, it's all right. Oh, and my phone's done stupid shit like that at sometimes. If you're looking at coming in, you're going into get your application approved, going into trucking, wherever into that. Make sure I'll do up a video. I think Twisted Big D there's dump a video on kind of what to pack. Make sure you pack some cold medicine into that works for you into your bag. Even if it's the middle of fucking summer, if you've got bad allergies or anything else like that, go to freaking Walmart or something like that. Just something that where you would have enough to get through. Because most of the time I can go it's about like this last time. It's about a week where I needed medication where it was fucking bad. When I was home over Christmas, it got bad. But make sure you got some sort of medication on you to get through, especially during training. Thankfully, in fucking Twisted Big D, who talked about in this video, I had some medication on the truck where I was able to give to him to help him get through his fucking cold. So, if you haven't already, got 60 in here. Twisted Big D's. One of them, so 5. If you haven't, make sure you go to fucking subscribe to his channel. He's gonna be my go-to guy where I send all you guys for information on Prime Inc. He is one of the best trainers, not only just because I trained him and he's training the way I trained, but fucking he actually gives a shit about his students. It's rare to find with especially some of the pad instructors. But anywho, how often am I home now? Set up where I can get home pretty much every weekend. I've been home every weekend except for this weekend. Just because I thought I could deliver this load on Friday, but they turned me away. So, but I'm sitting. There was a pilot that was closer, but I'm 22 miles away from my delivery. The pilot only had fucking like 5 truck spots, so when I showed there it was full, so I've been parked over here. But I've been enjoying Popeye's chicken because Popeye's a shiznit. You missed some epic rants I fucking had in there, Twisted. But yeah, I've been pretty much set to go home every weekend. I'm gonna get paid I got paid for Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. Gonna get paid for New Year's Day. So, I don't know if I'll be home for New Year's or not. That'd be interesting to see. But I think that's all I've got going on. I don't think I got anyone else. Anyone else have any last minute questions here? Otherwise, I'm gonna jump off here in a couple minutes. Or drop down to 4, so we lost about half the crowd. Give it a minute. I'll find my allergy pills. Yeah, Daniel, if you're still in here, if you go back and watch this, not real kid friendly, I can say that much. Let's see if I'm even able to keep my monetization or not. And I'll really kind of judge because, goddamn, I was dropping some F-bombs in here. Hey, good luck to tell him good luck for me. Um, I think you can jump into like the 5-10 minute mark to start the video, Daniel. Diego, if you ever come to the States and looking for, he just does the PSD only, but you can request him. I did up what 2 videos ago about all about it. All his contact information's in there. So just go back into it. It's literally like, I believe the title of it's like where to get your Prime Ink information. All his contact information's in the comment section, so you can actually even bullshit and make sure you subscribe to him. And then that way you get more information and feel for him. So, all right, I think that's been enough fun for tonight. Only going fucking like an hour longer than what I was planning, but hell, it was a good rant and rave night, especially with everything coming through. Yeah, Daniel, just make sure your kids aren't around for it. Because definitely went on some fucking crazy raves. It's crazy rants. So, all right. I'll do up a video working on the vlog. Tomorrow. I might go live tomorrow, trying to start building up my live audience on a lot of shit. Think about what I want to talk about tomorrow, even though pretty much I'm gonna have a general topic on my lives that we're gonna everything's gonna be kind of focused around, but we're gonna no topic. If you have a question or comment or anything like that, I said all my contact information's in the description of the video, or in the live comments, or if you're catching this on the replay, comment in there and I'll try and address it. If there's any videos that you purposely want me to do, as I said, just reach out to me and request it. I think that's about all I got. Yeah. So, all right, everyone. Stay safe and probably, maybe, depending on what time I get done, hookers and blow. I will freaking maybe do a live video tomorrow. Not sure or not. This is my first time doing live for directly to YouTube. So I want to kind of see. I actually got a lot more people in from YouTube this way, just going through Streamlabs. So I might be doing separate live videos. I might do more of my PC cleaner versions over on just Facebook Live. Don't know yet. Kind of got to figure everything out which way I want to go. Other than that, that's about all I got for tonight. Everyone stay safe. Make sure to keep an eye on the weather. It's raining here in North Carolina. I don't know how it is freaking west of here, especially up in Wyoming and fucking Colorado and all that shit with the ice and snow and shit. So make sure you guys stay safe. Remember, you're the captain of your ship. Fucking park it. If you do not feel safe, if your company gives you shit for parking in shitty weather, time to look for a different fucking company. Just saying. So, all right. With that being said, everyone have a good night. Get a delivery at fucking 7 o'clock in the morning. So, I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Night.